How's it going, everyone? This is your boy Harley. Welcome back with another video, y'all. I know it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded some content and all that stuff too, but I'm here to go ahead and give you some content. And this one's going to be a little bit interesting because it's actually going to be doing what I do for my job, and it's going to be entailing how it works or what to encounter or so and so. I'll go ahead and explain to you. And also I'll point out that I know I haven't done a video in a while because I do 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. shifts Monday through Friday, and it's my best schedule yet. It's just when I get off, sometimes my hours of sleep are a little so that's like I take a lot of afternoon naps, go to the gym, play basketball a lot. So but I'm gonna go ahead right into it, and I'm gonna give you an idea of how valet works. So for some of you that don't know, I'm actually a valet supervisor for a third party that provides the services for a hotel. What's a third party? People might ask. A third party is a service or is an outside source of service that is used for companies or hotels that are in need of it. Like, for example, when you use SeatGeek to go ahead and get tickets from a concert or go to a basketball game, SeatGeek does not work for the American Airlines arena. It's a service that's provided to be able to make sure you get tickets so that when you get to the arena, you'll have access in no time too. Same way with the Stance basketball socks. So just because the NBA store sells Stance socks doesn't mean Stance is made by the NBA or Stance and NBA are the same company. They are different entities. It's just the NBA store sells that product too. Same thing with Finish Line when they sell Nike. So it just like in our sense. So I work for a third party transportation service that does airport and cruise port travel, and that'll bring you to the airport and bring you back to the airport and cruise port. So so the hotel doesn't pick you up, it's our service that picks you up. But in my department, I do valet. So that means I have to oversee other people's work. Sometimes I'll have to videotape or take pictures of another person's mistake so that I can have this reported, or I can go ahead and tell an employee, can't do this, can't do that. So it's like I'm overseeing their line of work from when I come in, or versus when they're not here, I have to be able to have it on file when I do take a picture of it too. So that's what I do within my department. I'm pretty sure anyone being a supervisor is a little bit different, but that's pretty much how I do in my job too. Now I know, so people are asking what's valet. So basically valet it's not self-parking. It's a service that's provided by people that are capable drivers from anywhere from very small cars to bigger vehicles that are parking the vehicles within the space that they lease out for them to park. So how valet works is that they need to be able to have a certain spot minimum for the company to be able to lease out so they can provide that service too. So in our sense, we made an agreement with the hotel to say we'll make this parking lot valet because it would not pass as a self parking lot. Because if it was a self parking lot, then the whole parking lot would be flooded with vehicles and nobody would be able to get in and out, and all havoc would be wrecked and all that stuff too. So that's where we come into play, and we manage however way we want when it comes to the parking lot. That means we own the rights to the main parking lot, the handicap spots, and the fire lane. So when people say, oh, that's a handicap spot, I should be able to by law park in it. No, you have a handicap placard that allows you to be able to park on site, regardless in any sense too. But it doesn't mean by law you have to automatically park in that spot too. It's just like with certain parking lots, and some people may not notice, but in some parking lots that some companies buy out or lease out a parking lot, you are allowed to park in the handicap spot, but you would still have to pay for parking. So it's still pretty much that you're paying for a service too. But in our contract, you don't have to pay anything when you show your handicap placard, but we still have to give the service as a valet vehicle too. So right now we don't do any self parking, and a lot of people, now that I've said that, people are gonna say, "Oh, I've never heard of a hotel that does valet only." A lot of hotels do that. There actually are plenty of them too. There are some hotels, because I live in Florida. I can name like four of them that that are on the beach that do valet only too. I mean, that's just how it goes too. You know, some structures, people are gonna say, "Oh, this was the owners. That whoever built this hotel was stupid," and all that stuff too. And it's like, no, he isn't, because there was only so much of an estimate that he could put down for the space provided for that whole hotel too. So, and I'm not also speaking upon with restaurants too, because there's probably restaurants that are valet only. Who knows? Or they probably also have to share it with the mall, and the mall actually leases out like a certain, or has to buy out a certain amount of parking lots. It's easiest with the mall, and but that's made with the third party. And again, that's a third party for you too. So let's say if you go ahead, I'll give you an example, like between third party and our hotel in this case, or like an example of how our employees would work. Let's say you want to go ahead and make a complaint to someone at the front desk of a hotel about a third party employee. They can't do anything about it. Like, they would probably put it on a report, but they can't do anything about trying to tell an outside contractor anything from an actual employee of the hotel. The actual employee of the hotel can only do what they're told to. And I'm like, unfortunately, they're not our employees. They're a separate entity, and that's the purpose of why you can't say much to an outside source. It might be new to some people, it may not be, but that's normally how it is with a lot of companies. Now, in terms of valet, we do some people are like, when it comes to driving, some people are either a really good driver or a really bad driver. If you're a really bad driver, I wouldn't recommend you doing this job. If you're scared about being on the road, or if you're scared about just operating or being behind a vehicle, this job is not for you. If you're scared about damaging a vehicle and the vehicle is very small and you feel like you don't have enough space for anything, then down the line you might want to go ahead and think that, okay, it sounds like a good job, but it may not be for me. In my sense, I wasn't an amazing driver, but I was a pretty good driver. And after this job, I became a much better driver with experience too. So valet does actually make you a better driver by experience too. So with that being said, I'm also going to go ahead and continue on. And people are going to say, well, oh, valet only, like, it's only valet only because you guys are only doing this for money. No, like, it makes us money, which is true, but it's not the real reason why the hotel, I'm sorry, I got to get this thing. But that's not the real reason why that the hotel is made valet only. That was made. Some hotels go by executive decisions as to why they got to do valet only. That's something that we can't take control of too. For us to be able to make something like that possible, then we would might as well be linked with the hotel itself too. Like, for example, the hotel we do is True by Hilton. In terms of our third party, I can't go ahead and release the name of that. That would be based upon where, if you do see us, you'll be able to be gain the information needed from when you do come here too. Now, that doesn't mean all True by Hiltons have the same company as us too. That's just an outside source that's actually local in the city that we provide that service in too. So that's why it becomes a little bit harder for under people to understand, thinking like, oh, they are employees of the hotel, they provide that service. Again, that's us being an outside contractor. That's just allowing our contract to be able to provide the service on site too. So, like, and some people's service might be different when it comes to the valet service. So we reverse park vehicles because of the size of a lot, and other valet lots or valet services or policies, that may or may not be the case too, because we categorize vehicles by big, medium, and small. So, and like, people, Like people would say, "Oh, can I park my vehicle over there?" It's like you can't park your vehicle. We park the vehicle and we hold on to the keys. And then you're gonna get some people that say, "Oh, well, I can't. I don't want people to hold on to my keys." Then this isn't the hotel for you. Then you're gonna have to go to another hotel. Is that something I would tell a customer for if you're working for a hotel or working for valet and you're going ahead and saying that to a customer? It wouldn't, but if they start pushing it, that's basically how it goes. Honestly, too, there's nothing that the hotel itself would be able to make you think otherwise. That would make you hold on to the key, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles at that point too. So also, and also when it comes to your vehicle, what I would advise you do is if you're a customer would be videotape your vehicle to show that there was no damages around, because I've had the liberty of hearing the most ridiculous stories from when it came to hearing what people say about what we did to their vehicle. I'll just give you one quick short story to give you like the ridiculousness. I know some people say like, "Oh, my headlights all messed up or my bumper's all messed up. I have some paint scratch too." No. We've heard those stories, and honestly, like from what we've encountered, 99.999% of the time, if not almost 100% of the time, when they say we did this, we didn't do it. like, I mean, people are probably gonna look at it and say, "Well, that's a lie," but I'm just telling you from experience. I'm not gonna go ahead and speak upon other people. I just could go ahead and speak for myself too. So there was this one customer, I remember that person because I had their vehicle checked in the previous night, left their vehicle on the ramp because it was a flood parking lot, and that's when we used to have the self parking feature, and we didn't have an available parking lot that held 50 plus spots at the time. Next day, I come in and me and my boss were talking, and this customer, he's a doctor. He had a wife and two kids, and how about he said that we went into their trunk and we ripped up their upholstery? Like, seriously, y'all, upholstery. If you're gonna, guys, here's my thing. If you guys are gonna, if people are really gonna claim that, or whether if it's not to us or anyone else, if you guys really think that we were responsible for going into your own trunk and ripping something up on purpose and then placing the vehicle back the way it was, have some common sense, because if not, common sense isn't actually a natural language to some people. That they actually make that as their language barrier to, or their language common idea. It's common sense, because number one, we don't like in any Valley company, we're not supposed to go into the trunk. And if someone ever went to the trunk, someone's getting fired. The only reason why if we do go into the trunk is because there might be a time where you might help out a customer with their bags. Number two, there's only one door and one door only that we go into, and that's the driver door. Number three, if we were to go through any other door, it would have to be at the customer's this disclosure of why we have to go to through another door, and it could be because of the way how the vehicle's made, or there's a maintenance issue to where we can't open the door from the driver's side, so that we have to go ahead and enter from a passenger door. But other than that, there's no other door that we would ever go through but the driver door to be able to operate the vehicle. How about we went through the cameras? Nobody touched their vehicle after it was parked. Nobody ever opened their trunk. Guy calls the cops. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 cop cars came along, and they were giggling. Okay, what's going on, y'all? We told them a story. We showed them a picture. They were like, "Yo, seriously? Yo, we wasted our time." Yeah, I censored because that's exactly what they said. And they told them, bounce. They bounced. So, again, guys, if you're gonna, by the way, just because you say, "Oh, we damaged your vehicle," we can't give you money right there and then and just say, "Okay, we'll give you some money and now your vehicle's all set too." And also in Valet, they do have an insurance that does cover the damages if it was clear that we did damage your vehicle. If it was pointed out on site, then yes, and there was footage that caught us actually hurting your vehicle, then yes, the company would have to provide the insurance that would be able to cover up the repairs. But in this case, so I had to go ahead and also point out and tell you that you know, like some people also say that like, oh, like some people are gonna think that like, oh, like we damaged their vehicle outside this hotel. You think valet's gonna know about it? Well, one thing we do know is that our owner has, and technically me, have access to the cameras. And when I say, oh, we go check cameras, they'll be like, oh, no, you good, you good. Ah, that's what I thought. Or some people will say, we can go ahead and check cameras. And then sometimes when we look over cameras, sometimes damage isn't appeared to be what it appeared to be on camera. And then sometimes we say, unfortunately, according to our footage, there was no damage done. So some people probably would mess it up at the restaurant, and then they come back and then they say, "Hey, well, you hit it." It's not the thing that some people do it on purpose, or some people or some people do it on purpose because they actually do, or some people have that mindset where they didn't think that this far ahead. But if you're gonna go ahead and say we damaged vehicle, go ahead and record your vehicle before you give us the vehicle, because we will do an investigation, and investigations don't come your way just like that. It's got to be thorough. There's got to be a lot at hand for us to be able to follow through with what you want us to do. But in this case, I'm also going to close it up and sum it up in saying that like every valet service is different. You know, some customers are going to lie to be able to say to themselves, well, if I say this, I can save money, or if I do this, I can get stuff the way I want to. If I say this, I can always guarantee that one spot at all times too. It doesn't always work like that too. It's a valet is a it's pretty much a fast paced service. It's kind of like when you're in the restaurant business too, and I understand too because it's less, you do deal with one of the greatest people on earth, and I say that with immediate sarcasm too when I say that. They're like, you deal with the best and most wonderful people on earth sometimes too, because some people want you to do stuff on their own terms because they want to call the shots. I'm here to tell you, it's like just like how you have to wait for a table at a restaurant. It's the same way how some people are gonna have to wait for their service done too. That's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way how some people want their way because they think, oh, because I have a room here, because I pay a lot of money, it means I'm privileged. It doesn't matter. We don't care about your dollar value. We don't care what your career is like. We don't care about your worth. At the end of the day, we care about doing our service. We care about doing what's best for us and for you guys, making sure your vehicle is parked as safely as possible, and making sure that when we do provide it to you, we provide it to you with good care, and knowing that we're trying to provide the best service possible. All right. So that sums it up with valet. And basically break it down. If you're not a good driver, I think twice about to go ahead and think about doing valet. It sounds like easy money, but it's not as easy as you think, because you do have to be a pretty good driver. You gotta drive stick, you gotta drive dualies, you gotta drive. Some people are naturally good at driving dualies, some people are not. Some people are naturally good at driving stick shifts, some people are not. So it's just, at the end of the day, you gotta factor in, is this a job for you too? It's gotta match. You gotta find a job that matches your criteria. You gotta find a job that's gonna match you, yourself, and only you. All right, so I do this job because I love it. I do it for one of my closest friends, and I do it because it's just, I have like a great schedule too. So therefore, it's just when I go ahead and point this out to people, I'm pointing this out knowing that like, understand what's best for you before you go ahead and commit to something. And also when I say this, don't be one of those customers to say, hey, my car's already damaged. I can go ahead and tell the attendant he did it, and we're going to prove you wrong. So if the person that said that we ripped up their upholstery is watching this and got proven wrong, yes, we will find out quickly. I'm just saying that for anyone too. But that's all. That's all for today. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you all for watching. I love you all. I'm gonna have another new surprise video coming up, and y'all gonna see what's gonna be up. I love y'all. Holla at me later. Yeah.